I'm Grace Shoup.
And I'm Grace Rohde. You're watching the DC Journal. For our first story, we see how American University dedicates itself to creating and maintaining campus-wide gardens. Let's go to Angelina Dimitri to learn more about the vegetation on campus.
Hello, I'm coming to you from the American University campus, a classified arboretum. An arboretum is a collection of plant and tree species for the purpose of educating the community. The vast amount of gardens benefit pollinators.
We're very careful not to use any pesticides on any of those plants.
Pollinators aren't the only ones benefiting. With new trends towards healthy eating, many community members are advocating for edible gardens.
I think it really got started when Michelle Obama was really stressing healthy eating.
However, the grounds operation crew at American University are surprised that more people don't pick the plants for themselves.
I do want to make sure that people know that they are allowed to pick it. These gardens are here for people to use and enjoy.
But that's not all. Rooftop gardens are also gaining popularity on campus and in other youth centers. A Washington, D.C. mandate states that institutions must capture rainwater. The rooftop gardens fulfill this requirement and have many other benefits.
But in most urban environments, there's not a lot of green space. And green roofs add green space, which reduces heat pollution and provides habitat for birds and bees and insects and pollinators and all that stuff.
Stephen McAvoy, Associate Professor of Environmental Science, believes that governments should advocate for more green technology.
We need more of them. There's a bunch of community benefits that could be generated if the government would incentivize building this kind of infrastructure.
Edible and rooftop gardens have certainly gained ground on the American University campus. I'm Angelina Dimitri, back to you.
Thank you, Angelina, for showcasing American University's commitment to being green.
For our next story, we'll go to Gavin Colbert and Zoe Ellis on the American University campus for a look at recent trends in admissions and applications.
Good morning, Grace. I'm Gavin Colbert.
And I'm Zoe Ellis, and we're here at the American University Katzen Art Center to talk to you about the recent influx in admissions and applications at AU.
Are either of you guys wanting to give the first tour of the day?
In the new admissions office, we talked to Mark Sullivan, an American University ambassador and musical theater student. We spoke about the increase in applications to AU and asked him about his own experiences and insights into the developments. He's aware of a declining admittance rate as applications rise and class sizes remain the same.
My incoming freshman class, it was around 44%, and then the year after that, it was 35%. Then the year after that, it was 25%. And then this past year's, this incoming class for the fall of 2017 is around 29%.
Mark explained that due to the increase in applications, his class was over-enrolled as the admissions office did not expect as many people to accept their offers to AU.
We had a record number of applications. I think it was 2 years ago, when our acceptance rate was at 25%.
We then asked Mark what he felt attracted students to American University.
Just the incredible community is what draws a lot of our students here. And it's what's kept me here all my years. So we've seen a lot more people not only come and visit the university, but also apply to the university.
Showing the next AU student to AU and getting them to love it as much as I do is a big part of why I like ambassadors.
Sophie Fickenshire, another AU ambassador, reinforced the importance of visiting schools in person during the admissions process. She says some students have even made an emotional connection with the university honor tours.
And I've had students come up to me and be like, oh my gosh, you were my tour guide. I'm coming to AU because of you. That's wonderful.
Mark told us that AU is now test optional. And we also asked if the integrity of the admissions process has been threatened due to the increase in applications.
In terms of admissions, no, the only thing that's changing are the numbers.
Colleges across the country have had to adapt to connect with students from around the world.
Recently, American University has been working on reaching out to incoming students in faraway states such as California through social media and other online tools.
Thank you, Zoe and Gavin, for that insight into the fluctuations of admissions at American University. We're looking forward to seeing how the admissions percentage rates change in the future.
As we head further into summer, more students are heading to American University's campus for summer programs. What is the university's plan to keep all students safe? We check in with Kayla Beck and Sam Ostry with the story.
Hi, I'm Kayla Beck, reporting to you on American University's campus. Despite the many crimes occurring in the DC area, American University is on top of their game regarding safety measures. I'm standing here next to one of the many blue light emergency boxes on campus. The students can press a button and easily be connected with a dispatch officer via phone, or use a keypad to dial any extension. A police officer is assured to arrive at the scene quickly. But blue lights aren't the only precaution American University is taking. Using the Rave Guardian Campus Safety app, students can anonymously report crimes, direct attention from campus police in an emergency, and designate their contacts as guardians during a time session in which they wish others to be aware of their location. These measures seem fantastic at first glance, but how did those on campus feel about their safety? We checked in with Sam Austry on America's campus to hear the people's side.
Do you feel safe on American University's campus?
Yeah, I would say I feel pretty safe. I do feel safe. I always see cops patrolling around and a lot of security guards, so it's really helpful.
We also looked to find if students were familiar with the safety precautions, like the blue light system and the safety app that American University strives to take.
I am familiar with it. I've never had to use it, which is good, because I've never felt threatened, which is also good.
I really like the blue light security system that they have, where you just press the button and in 60 seconds a cop will arrive.
We talked to Professor Sarah Mankey-Fish, who has been part of the communications program at American University for 17 years, to find out the safety precautions that have been taken on America in the last few years.
American University does a really great job of trying to make sure that students, staff, faculty, everyone in the community feels safe on campus. The students told me that they used the emergency blue light one night when a deer came running in front of them. It was a big deer came running, and it frightened them so much that they pressed the emergency blue light. And they couldn't believe how rapidly someone was here. And then they felt a little foolish and silly when they said, "I'm sorry, I just got frightened when I saw this deer come running across campus."
This has been Kayla Beck at American University, signing off to you at the studio.
Thank you, Kayla and Sam. I'm sure we are all glad to know American University holds high standards for their safety.
In Washington, D.C., you find many interesting people with many interesting journeys. Let's go to Cam Wilson for an incredible story about adjusting to life in a new country.
I'm Cam Wilson, reporting from American University in Washington, D.C. For most Americans, life in West Africa would be unimaginable, but for Aubrey Aklu, that was all he knew until age 10.
I was born and raised in Ghana, West Africa, and I was born in Accra, the capital, while living in Tema, the city south side of it. And I lived there for 10 years when I moved to America.
In the past 7 years, Aklu has adapted to American culture. However, adjusting has not been easy. Technologically, Ghana is worlds behind the United States.
You have to deal with the technology that you never had, so basically a phone, computer, TV, all cable, running hot water. You never had it, so you had to create your own.
Air conditioning and modern computers have understandably been positive changes for Aklu. However, adapting to cultural differences was much harder.
My difficult adjustment was meeting white people for the first time. Since your whole life you've lived with Africans for your whole life, then you've always been told that white people were the enemy. From my ancestors to my grandmother were enslaved by white people. So coming here, I had to adjust to liking you people. Some things we do in Ghana that people would call it abusive in America. I just laugh at that because it's like, so this is how I was raised up, and this is how Americans were raised up. So they call them a bunch of sissies.
But by far the most difficult and confusing change was attempting to understand the issue of race in America and attempting to find his place.
It's so jarring that people could hate another race. It's like, you do realize there's another continent with full of all these people, right? You do not realize that. America, so you have to adjust to that. You have to adjust to the mistreatment of your own kind.
The story of African immigrants is one of adjustment, both good and bad. From American University in Washington, D.C., I'm Cam Wilson.
Thank you, Cam. Learning about Aubrey's adjustment to America is truly inspiring.
In 2015, a law was passed legalizing the possession of marijuana in Washington, D.C. We were fortunate enough to ask people in Georgetown and on the American University campus for their views on the law and the impact that it had. Let's go to Desiree Coombe and Lily Ivers and hear what people in Georgetown and American University have to say.
Hi, good morning. I'm Desiree Coombe, and I'm here on M Street at Georgetown, where marijuana usage has been legalized in Washington, D.C.
According to the Washington Post, nearly 70% of D.C. residents voted for legalization, and yet the city's sharp new fragrance remains a courtesy. Many people on the streets of Georgetown have different views since the law has been passed.
We asked around the streets of this busy town to see how these laws have impacted people personally. Since the law has been passed, have you noticed any changes or an increase in marijuana usage around the DC area?
Absolutely. I see online delivery services giving away weed if you buy juice or shirts, which is their way, I guess, to bypass it. But I think it's cool.
No, things have been pretty much the same. I always smelled it before on my way to work, and I still do, and I think it's great.
These laws have not only affected people in the Georgetown area, but also on American University. I'll pass it on to AU.
Hi, I'm Lily Ivers, and I'm here on American University campus, where rules considering weed usage are put into place.
Even though laws were passed loosening the rules surrounding marijuana users, AU has put up this announcement in one building which speaks directly to the students attending American University. The sign explicitly states that there's no marijuana usage tolerated on campus, but has the growth of smoking in DC still affecting the campus?
I would say, yeah, that there's definitely a growth of smoking on campus. Just like sometimes when you're walking through the dorms and stuff, you can even like smell the smell of weed through the doors and stuff. So I definitely would say that there is a growth.
The legalization of marijuana in DC has caused the perfume of the summer to spread to this campus.
Thank you, Desiree and Lily, for that inside look on the opinions of rising marijuana usage. I'm Grace Shoup.
And I'm Grace Rohde.
Thank you for watching the DC Journal.